happy ending was not an option. It was incredible. You know, the book just didn't do it for me. My opinion is wrong. Hi everyone, Mira is here. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be about this book by Stephen King, and the book is called Pet Sematary. I really hope that this video starts discussion down in the comments below. Please let me know if you read the book. Please let me know how I can make these videos better. I want to make sure that you guys enjoy them, and I really hope that you feel safe and comfortable sharing your opinions and thoughts down in the comments below. I have a very hard time reading books when I have no one to discuss them with, and then I feel like I always go on Facebook groups or Reddit, and I'm trying to search for any discussions, but some of them happened 3 years ago, and so they're not relevant anymore. Don't get shy. Don't feel like, oh, my opinion is wrong. There's never wrong opinion, and I would love to hear each and one of you speak about the book. So please let me know your thoughts about this book. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this video. This was the first book that I fully read from start to end since I've learned English. Surprisingly enough, I've never read a book by Stephen King before this one, and I've heard different opinions. Some say that that is not his best work. This book was recommended to me by my friend, so I decided to start reading it, and interestingly enough, I kept reading the book, reading through the first 30-40 pages, and then just dropping it and then coming back to it a month later. At first, the beginning was very slow. In my opinion, it was a little bit repetitive. Unfortunately, I did not get involved with the book right away from the first pages, but I am very happy that I finished the book. My main concern with this book was the fact that as soon as you learn about the Pet Sematary and that Luis has a family and his daughter and a little son and the cat, and you just immediately understand that something is gonna happen. So that the fact that it was so predictable made it a little bit boring for me. From the first time you learn about the Pet Sematary, you right away know where the book is gonna go, and that was a little bit upsetting for me. I wish we didn't know right away that something was going to happen. I did, however, liked a lot how Stephen King told us about the fact that Luis's son passed away. It was very sudden. It was very kind of out of nowhere. You start reading a chapter and all of a sudden the sentence, it was like, after Luis's son died 4 months ago, and you're like, what? Like, that was shocking. So I love that part. I love that it came out of nowhere. I loved that he didn't write about it as if, it was a nice day and then the son passed away. No, it was the first, son passed away, and then later it tells you exactly what happened. So I enjoyed that piece a lot. Overall, if I were to talk about Luis's character, I found it incredible. In my opinion, his character is very relatable. He is a normal human being with, his flaws and mistakes that he makes, and a regular, boring kind of life that he lives. He's a family man. He goes to work. He sees his family in the evenings. He visits his friends. That was, very relatable in my opinion. I kept reading it and thinking that that is the type of life that most of us live. And I understood all the mistakes that he did or any wrong decisions that he did because they just make sense because no one's perfect. And I really like that Stephen King made Luis so relatable for me, because Luis is just a regular person who lives his regular life, and that's what most of us do. So I really felt like I could connect with him on that level. However, in terms of the whole idea of the book and the whole idea of the Pet Sematary, I feel like you have to really like the supernatural, things in order to like the book. I don't like supernatural things. I don't believe in them. I don't find them interesting. So for me, it was a little bit, I don't want to say boring. It was still very interesting. It was not as intriguing as I thought it would be for me, or as I think most people found it. Listening to other people discuss this book, I noticed that most of them found the book so good and so relatable because they've experienced a loss of a loved one recently, or at some point in their life. I did lose someone who I loved very much when I was a kid. However, even then, the book just didn't do it for me. I, as a kid, never thought about bringing that person back necessarily. So I get where where the author lost me in that sense. But yeah, most people found it very relatable because they lost someone. And I feel like the book resonates more with those people because they've gone through the same type of experience that Louise is going through in the book. All in all, I feel like the book was really, really well written. I still very much appreciate the idea and the writing. It was incredible. My only concern was about how predictable the book was. But even then, when I found out that his son was dead, that was just out of nowhere. I did not expect it because when it happened with the cat, it was kind of somewhat obvious. And I wish it was less repetitive. I feel like for some of those days where Louise just goes to work, comes back, does his normal routine stuff, it was just too much of it in my opinion. I feel like if it was a little bit shorter, it would be better. One thing I wanted to really talk about, and I really want to hear your opinion, guys, about this, is of course the ending. Stephen King left it up to our imagination to know what happened at the end. When a lady came in and touched Louise's shoulder, it's entirely up to us to know exactly who it was, what's gonna happen next. It's just for us to guess. Of course, we all know it was his wife who he brought back. But then the question is, how are things gonna play after? Is she normal? Did she turn out to be as aggressive as his kid did? Like, what's gonna happen next? You don't know, I don't know. I really want to hear your opinion about this. In my opinion, because he buried her in the time that he needed to, so it was quick enough, that makes me think that she came back not as aggressive as the kid did, and she's perfectly fine, so they're gonna continue living together, even though she's never gonna be the same. But there's always a chance that she is just as crazy as the kid was, and she's also gonna murder people or be as aggressive. Don't know. I'm sticking to the first option. I think she's perfectly fine. She's not gonna be aggressive. She's gonna live with him until the day they die, which, I'm hoping that's what Stephen King intended for us to think. But of course, knowing him and how dark his books and movies get, I'm sure the happy ending was not an option there. If I had to rate this book out of 10, I would probably give it a solid 7.5. I don't know if that's the same rating you guys had in mind, but please share your opinion in the comments down below. If you want to recommend me more books from Stephen King that you think that I might like better, because as I've mentioned in the beginning, some people say it's not his best book out there. If you think that I might like another book more, please let me know what I should read next, and I would love to read it and then discuss it with you guys. Don't be shy. Share your opinions, share your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to reply to you guys. I'm gonna read every single comment, and I would love to connect with you, especially if you love reading books as much as I do, or if you're trying to start reading more books. Please let me know what you think about this one. Alright guys, not to keep these videos too long, I'm gonna finish right here, and hopefully we will continue discussing this book in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye!